The final statement from the cross comes from Luke 23, verse 46. And when Jesus had cried out with a loud voice, he said, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit. Having said this, he breathed his last. Matthew 27, verse 51. Then behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked, and the rocks were split, and the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And coming out of the graves after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many. So when the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and the things that happened, they feared greatly, saying, Truly, this was the Son of God. In this final saying of Jesus, we can see that Jesus was in control of his life. As Jesus said in John 10, verse 17, Therefore my Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This command I have received from my Father. Jesus didn't have to die. If he wanted, he could have called on all the angels of heaven to come and rescue him. But he didn't, because he wanted to die for us. He even knew when he would die, because as soon as he made this last statement, his spirit left his body, and he put his faith in the Father to take care of his spirit. And this teaches us that when our spirits leave our bodies, we become physically dead, and our spirits return to the Lord. As Jesus was giving up his spirit to God, Matthew tells us that the veil of the temple was torn from top to bottom, and that there was great earthquake that split the rocks, and even some of those that had died were raised from the dead after his resurrection. As the earth cried out in response to Jesus' death, it caused those soldiers to be afraid, and they believed that Jesus was the Son of God. Now, if our story stopped here and Jesus just died on the cross, his death wouldn't be any different than the thousands, if not millions of others who had been crucified before him. But we know that on the third day after his death, which was on Sunday morning, he was raised from the dead. Not only did he die for us, he showed us that he had the power over death. And if we follow God's word and live faithfully, we can have confidence that our bodies will be resurrected and transformed into a glorious body like Jesus' body. On the judgment day, we'll be taken to heaven itself to spend eternity. As Jesus said in John 14, verse 1, Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you to myself, that where I am, there you may be also. While Jesus' death on the cross is tragic, and it's sad, and it's worth crying over, at the same time, it is also something we can rejoice over and be happy about, because it shows the love of God to us. And without it, our salvation would not be possible. So I hope you will allow the message of the cross to sink deep into your heart. And I hope we will always be reminded of what Jesus did for us, so that we might be encouraged to live a faithful life until the day that we die.